Hey everyone, welcome to Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Gini.
And Chris.
And Chris.
It's me.
He's trying to steal the show tonight.
I told her I'd feel free and just start this without her if she didn't have time to get here because she was busy doing her makeup and stuff.
He was going to start without me. I would have just walked in and just watched him as you guys are watching him. Hey Matt.
What's up, Matt Hayes?
All right, let's get to it.
I hope everyone is sharing this tonight because it's Woodshed Night. And if you know me and you follow, you know Woodshed Night's my favorite night.
Yes.
Okay, so she's going to be sharing it.
Sorry, I'm just like...
You know, on the radio, if you go silent for like 7 seconds, they go to commercial.
Yeah.
Or they go to some recorded thing.
We're not in commercial. Wait a minute.
We're not in commercial. And if we go silent, we're still here.
All right, so we are at a 9,034. Hello.
From Terrell, Texas.
Hello. We are at 9,034 followers. Help me help you.
Just hit the follow button.
To 10,000. I'm going to do the whole Instagram thing, you know, like get the balloon, the 10K, and do the little...
Instantly, this is a solo act.
Yeah, it is. Hello from Sanford, Florida. Hello.
Hey.
All right. Don't forget, if you want to be September's share winner, don't forget to click that share button, tag as many people in your post, share, because tonight, hello, everybody.
Hey, Kim.
Hi, you two, Madeline. Hey, Ed.
Ed.
Don't forget, when you tag as many people, just as much as you share, it still counts. As long as it is set on public.
If it's not...
You don't get credit if it's not set on public. Hello, Jacqueline. I just got a 14-day suspension because of my injury.
Well, we'll be talking
about that.
We'll be talking about your supervisor tonight.
All right, so while I share to my people, I'm going to have Chris do a little bit of housekeeping with the broom and dustpan.
I got nothing. I already did the housekeeping.
No, you didn't.
No, just kidding.
I'm like,
just kidding.
What?
All right, so might as well start here. Go to breakingowcp.com or hit the shop button on this page. If you have not gotten the books yet, like so many other people have, go ahead and go there and grab these. They're $8.97 a piece with free shipping when you buy them together. So go to breakingowcp.com and get these very easy to understand books. I wrote a couple of books about OWCP to make it easy for you because it's a very complicated system. It is made with confusion built into it. It seems like its entire purpose is to cause confusion for you so that you get a denied claim and you give up. But everyone that comes here knows we don't give up, ever. We never quit. Part of what will help you not feel like quitting is having good information. So get the books, breakingowcp.com.
And I'm just going to say something. Those books is going to totally touch on so many things tonight where when the supervisors are telling you that they're not supposed to or they can't, all the rules, laws, and regulation we're going to go over. So if you have your book, pull it out, get a highlighter, and highlight all the major things, and keep it with you because after tonight, those of you that have not seen our Woodshed Night, you'll want to get a copy, and you'll definitely want to open the book and just kind of rub it in their face.
Yeah, well, not rub it in their face. Don't be aggressive with your supervisors, but it's really fun for people, and they told me that their supervisor said one thing, and they were able to go to the page on, or the chapter on rules, laws, and regulations and say, yeah, but what about this law? And it's there word for word. It usually turns things around. So get the books. They're there to help you and protect you from bad management with bad intentions, or for just, dummies that don't know the system. So breakingowcp.com. And a lot of people keep asking me, hey, where do I get your shirts? So I wore one of them tonight. It's on the website as well. You just go to the gear tab, Gear, go to the gear tab. And you can take a look at a selection of a lot of shirts that I designed. If you don't like them, you'd be doing me a huge favor if you just send me a message, tell me that you hate it. And if you do love it, you can tell me you love it. I like the feedback. It's really important to me that I'm putting things out there that are something that you care about. So go check out breakingowcp.com, grab the books, and check out the gear tab. And there's some fun stuff in there, like hashtag file a grievance.
There's file a grievance, no more denied claims, knowledge is power. We have masks, we have hats.
Although I hate masks, I can't stand wearing them. And we fly so much, being in an airplane, you're required to have the mask on. And so as much as I resent them, I still have some in there because people ask for them. So go check it out.
We comply.
We do what we got to do.
Yeah.
Whatever, I'm good at following the rules. All right, so why is tonight called Woodshed Night? That's a great question, and I'm glad somebody asked. Because
somebody asked?
Yeah, no, nobody did. I was just kidding. But the saying, we're going to take them out behind the woodshed. We said it all the time. I'm from Texas. I'm sure it's not just a Texas thing, but we sure as heck said it all the time. Take people behind the woodshed. And
what was the purpose?
Well, because when you go behind the woodshed, there's wood back there, and you get probably spanked with it.
So you just get.
You don't want to get spanked with the wood behind the woodshed. It's not good. And so tonight is Woodshed Night for supervisors. This is a night that I go on here and I tell you everything you need to know to prevent your supervisors from doing bad things to you and from giving you bad information. I just read a message today from a lady whose supervisor said, well, you just have a sprained ankle, so come on back to work. And she did it. Turns out she had a ruptured Achilles and some fractures and some other stuff. It was really horrible, the most traumatic of traumatic conditions. That is going to lead to a lot of time away from work because the supervisor did the wrong thing, and I think on purpose. It's a really sad thing, and it really pissed me off to read it, and I read it right before we came on. So it kind of gave me some fuel to talk about what we're doing here tonight. So tonight's Woodshed Night. I'm going to tell you what to do about your supervisors. I want you to bring me your questions. Even if it doesn't relate to what I'm talking about, I'm still going to answer it. And but those of you that are asking questions now while she's sharing, it's very likely she's not going to get to see your questions because of Facebook's got a...
It just starts moving up and I can't come back down.
It's hard to see them. So if she doesn't get your questions, just ask it again. We'll be happy to help. We want to answer your questions. So, what?
Before that, I'm sure everybody's seen my post. We'll be in New York in 2-3 weeks. No, we'll be in New York at the last week of October. We're going to be in California in Redondo Beach in 3 weeks.
Yeah, on the 10th, right?
Yes.
Is it the 11th?
The 10th through the 14th.
Yeah, we're going to be there for several days, helping our new doctor out there, Dr. Hawkins, and just talked to her today. She's excited to be able to work with you guys. She's the first doctor in the entire state of California who has stepped up and said, I'll do the work. So we're really grateful to have her. You should be too. So if you're in California, let us know. In fact, if you're in California, I'd love to see a bunch of heart buttons, and I'd love for you to put what city you're in California. So do that for us so we know where you're at. When we go to these places, we like to do meet and greets because we like to meet you. It's fun to be able to talk to you here and get the interaction, but it's oh so much better to see you face to face. So we're going to be doing that in California and in Manhattan, New York.
And then we're going to be possibly coming to Arizona sometime in November.
Well, not possibly. We're definitely coming to Tucson. It's happening, but we don't know when yet.
But the week of Thanksgiving, we end our travel till January.
I mean, we got to take a break too. But we keep doing this. We just quit traveling. With that said, how many more shares you got there? So look she's sharing more than all of you combined typically. So do us a favor and outshare her every night, but definitely tonight because tonight's a big deal. All of you easily can share more times than she can by herself, but she's probably going to beat you anyway. So give her a run for it. All right. So with all that said, I'm going to start with what I think is the ABCs of what's going on with you, but for many of you, you're still kind of unfamiliar with it. So let's start here. Do you know you have 3 years to report your injuries? 3 years. Your supervisors, many of your supervisors, maybe not all of them, there may be one good-hearted or two good-hearted supervisors left out there. A couple of those follow us here, and so we love and appreciate you for doing that. But many of your supervisors are going to tell you that time's up. You missed the deadline. Why didn't you report it today? Why did you wait 3 days? You can't report your injury anymore. Too late. You only had 30 days or 45 days or 2 weeks, all of which are ridiculous. This book will tell you you have 3 years to report your injuries. Why is that good for you? Because let's say you're somebody that's gone along for nearly the last 3 years and you've been trying to get help on your own using your health insurance. You've been paying money out of your pocket. and co-pays, deductibles, and whatever else. You've been driving places, using your own gas, and you've been taking time off, using your own time, sick and annual leave. Well, they give you 3 years to report your injury. And when you report your injury, you have an opportunity to go back and get all that time and money back. So that's one benefit. Another benefit is you may still be suffering from, whatever condition you have, and you thought it was too late. You're limping around the office, whatever station you work at, you're having a hard time. And now you realize, I can still get help, and it's not too late because you have 3 years to report your injuries. So your supervisors are telling you, you can't report your injuries. It's too late. And so if you are looking at this is the first book, chapter 16, page 121. That's all the rules, laws, and regulations. And I love using this chapter. In fact, it's my favorite chapter of all the chapters, aside from the Schedule Award chapter in the second book. I love that chapter. But this one I love because what's the best way to fight bad information? It's with true information. And so here's what it says about you being able to report your injuries. And as soon as I just find it, so page 127 says you have 3 years to file an injury claim. Did I just say that? Yeah, I wrote it too. So the Code of Federal Regulations, 20 CFR 10.100 says a notice of injury must be filed within 3 years of the injury. It also says that in a latent claim, or a CA2, that your claim has to be filed no more than 3 years from the date you reasonably would have known that the injury was work-related. So on a CA2, which is something you've been kind of living with, it developed over time. It didn't happen in a single shift like a CA1. That CA2, you have 3 years from the date you realized it was work-related to report your injury. So although you may have been suffering with this thing for the last year or so, if you just wake up today and realize, or you go to the doctor today and get informed that that your injury is work-related, you now have 3 years. Let me stop real quick. Dr. Suma's on from Dr. Lee's office.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, the newest doctor in our Pinellas Park office, Dr. Suma's on. Hello, Dr. Suma. He's helping us out, helping you out in Pinellas Park, Florida.
Helping us out.
About, 15 minutes from the Bay Pines VA?
Yes.
Yeah, so just for proximity's sake, so you understand where it's at. It's very close to you VA folks down here. Rich is watching. Hey, Rich, what's happening? We're going to be up in your area. We're going to talk to you and make sure we get enough of you over there.
Yeah, so those of you that are
for a meet and greet
in the Manhattan, Staten Island, Brooklyn, any of the boroughs, working with Rich Ray, we're going to find the little spot that we can all meet and greet there instead of going to a restaurant where you have to have a vaccination passport because we don't have that here. So we want to try to find something fun, and so Rich and I are working on that. As soon as we find a spot, which should be by the end of next week, we're going to go ahead and post it so you guys can get ready and come on down.
And Rich, I promised you a few months ago that we would do this, so I know it's not Staten Island, it's Manhattan, but I just had a Zoom meeting with these doctors this week, and they promised me that they would also open up in Staten Island.
Yeah.
So it's happening. It's happening. I appreciate your patience. All right, so back to this time for making a claim. So I told you the Code of Federal Regulations. The United States Code, 5 U.S.C. 8122, also says the same thing, that an original claim for compensation for disability or death, don't let that be you, must be filed within 3 years after the injury. So, look, you have 3 years to report your injury. One of the biggest problems, look, I can't even get through a sentence. Now Dr. Hawkins on. Hello, Dr. Hawkins.
Our California.
From Redondo Beach.
Yeah,
we're really happy you're here. Thank you so much. You know, for all of you watching, when our doctors come on and watch this, they're getting a chance to see what, things from your perspective. They're reading your questions, your comments, and they get a real feel, especially when they're new at this, they get a real feel for what you're dealing with, what you go through when you're hurt at work, and, what your questions are, so that when you're in their office, they can help you the way we do, and that's the whole point. That's the reason we have this franchise, so we can put offices all around the country to do what we do right here in this office here. So thank you, Dr. Hawkins, for being on. Everyone should be really, really excited
in California
to have her in California because she's the only one there. She's it.
So those of you that are asking, where her office is located or where any of the offices are located, please just go on federalinjurycenters.com, click the locations tab on the bottom, and you'll find all of our locations. Somebody asked...
But you won't find hers yet because we wait for training and stuff, but it's in like a week, I'll have hers up there too.
If you're in Michigan, I think Illinois might be the closest. You can go on and find the location there.
Or you can just Google it, OWCP injury doctor in your city and state, and see what's close to you.
And as far as Orlando goes, we are talking to a doctor right now. He's highly interested, and hopefully by the mid of next month, he's up and ready. So we'll let you guys know.
And my main man, Ron Speakman's on.
Is he, Ron?
We got a chance to have dinner with Ron last week and his wife, and it was really great.
Fun.
Yeah, it was nice. Nice meeting you in person.
We love meeting you guys, and when you guys come out for meet and greets, and we set this up, we said this to Ron too. We're just regular people, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, I gotta get a picture of Gini and Chris, or Gini and the other guy."
The other guy.
So it's so much fun to meet you guys because you guys are just behind the scenes. We just see your name and your questions. We don't get to see who you are, so it's really nice to put a face to
so Ron invited us out for dinner. We had dinner at him and his wife's favorite place. And
it was good.
I can see why it was your favorite place, Ron, because I think if I lived there, it'd be my favorite place too.
I'm going to see this question. Lisa
Yeah.
Clapp. That's the first one I could see. So if anybody messaged before Lisa Johnson Clapp, you're going to have to
send it again.
Send it again. She said, we've been told if we don't report same day, we get a PDI.
Okay, so here's the issue with that. Your role, the roles, let's take the post office, which I'm assuming you work for the post office. They say that you should report everything right away. Now, I actually agree with this. I don't agree with penalizing you, but you should report right away. Even if you have a paper cut, they want you to report everything. Mm-hmm. Now, the problem is when you report, they retaliate. They make it very painful for you to do the reporting. But when you don't report, they make it painful for you not reporting. So do what I always say. The CA-10, it's called What a Federal Employee Should Do When Injured at Work. It says, the first part says, report your injuries as soon as possible. Okay, as soon as possible is a BS statement. It means something different to everyone. So remember what I'm about to say, and many of you already on here already know what I'm about to say. The soonest possible time to do anything is? Now. Right now. So if you report now, then no penalties, right? And also you get access to all your benefits. I'm going to talk about one of those important benefits next. But I'll tell you this, because I'm here to help you. When management gets on you and wants to punish you for not reporting right away, go to your union and get help. Because many times, especially here in Florida with our union presidents here, we've seen the unions be able to, basically wipe that off your record. And because the rules state you have 3 years, even though the post office got their own rule of report today, which I agree with, you just shouldn't be penalized for it because by reporting within 3 years, you're following the rules.
Yeah.
So go talk to your union and try to get that overturned.
Victor, you want to know how our DC trip went? Our DC trip went great, but we're crossing our fingers and we're still going through the process.
Well, and we kind of expected it to go great regardless because Mr. Kelly, the AFGE president, is a really good friend of ours. We've known him since way before he was AFG president.
Yeah.
But we don't expect special privileges. We respect his position. We respect the union. And that's why we made the trip out there to make it official that we want to officially be able to help you and be welcome in your union halls. That's kind of what we want. We just want free access to do the help that you need.
Yep. John Bryan says, why can't you claim an injury if you're retired and it's within the 3-year limit? What is source?
Let me see. Where's that at?
Right there.
Oh, what is the source? Okay, so I gotta be totally honest because that's what I do. I don't know what the rule is that says you can't report after retirement. But I can tell you that having done this since 2007, regardless of if it's in the 3 years or not, if you wait until after retirement to report, they're going to deny everything. You can report it, you can file the claim, but I've never, ever seen it approved. And the reason I haven't seen it approved is they come back and say, well, you can't prove that this happened at work. It could have easily happened mowing your yard at home or whatever. And so it's better, and I always tell everyone, if you know retirement's coming and you know you got a problem, report now. Don't wait for after retirement. People think they're going to lose benefits or something. You're not, okay? You're actually going to lose benefits by waiting.
Yeah.
So never wait. Everybody report your injury now. Repeat after me, now. So let me talk about the next rule because this is Woodshed Night, and I'm going to go over the rules that are broken most often. The next one that's broken all the time, which leads to broken financial lives of federal employees, is not getting a CA-16 form.
Yep.
Like every single time, 100% of people who have gone, months or years through this process that did not get a CA-16 have found themselves in financial ruin. Get a CA-16, because what happens is, okay, first of all, CA-16 pays your medical bills for 60 days following your CA-1 injury. That's a huge thing, because if you need surgery, it'll cover emergency surgery versus you paying a deductible. $1,500 to $2,500 to $3,500. I don't know. Deductibles are skyrocketed right now, more than I've ever seen it. And so you have to make a financial decision on your health, and you decide to choose money over health. Well, when you have the CA-16, you can choose health over money because the government pays for it. And what happens is supervisors say they don't have to give it to you, or they'll say that you're not hurt bad enough, or that they don't know what a CA-16 is, or they can't find a CA-16. Let me give everybody a tip. Go to my website, federalinjurycenters.com, look at the OWCP Forms tab, and print all the CA-16s that your heart desires.
Yeah.
And take it to your supervisor and have it filled out. Never accept the excuse, I don't know where to find one, or I don't know what that is. And don't let them tell you you're not hurt bad enough, because they don't have a medical license. They have no authority to tell you you're not hurt bad enough. And so the rules are very clear on CA-16s. It is, in the Code of Federal Regulations, it's 20 CFR 10.300. It says when an employee sustains a work-related traumatic injury, or a CA-1, that requires medical examination, medical treatment, or both, the employer shall authorize such examination and or treatment by issuing a Form CA-16. Shall. So it doesn't say maybe. It says absolutely. They shall give it to you. And then it goes further in letter B in the Code of Federal Regulations to say the employer shall issue Form CA-16 within 4 hours of the claimed injury. So when you can show this page, okay, you can go up to your supervisor with this page and this book, and you can say, hey buddy, I'd like my CA-16 now, and you're on the clock. You have 4 hours. And when they don't give it to you within 4 hours, file a grievance. File a grievance every time. File a grievance. File grievances every time you don't get a CA-16, because the more of those you file, the more CA-16s will come to people in the future. So get your CA-16s. It's so critical. Supervisors they just chronically say you're not hurt bad enough. That's none of their business. They have no idea how bad you're hurt. It's not like they have Superman X-ray vision where they can look in your knee and see which ligament's torn, or if it's torn at all.
I think they do, because of the way they act.
Well, the lady today...
Yeah, I know. The lady today,
the supervisor said it's a sprained ankle. What the hell do you know?
Ask them for their medical license.
This lady had a torn Achilles tendon, okay? That's more than traumatic, okay? It's if you're an athlete, which you are industrial athletes, but if you played basketball, you'd be retiring now. It's hard to come back from that. Most of the time you retire. So the next thing they do is they don't give you your CA-16s, and it's crap, and it's abusive, to be totally honest with you. It's abusive for you to have to pay your own money out of your pocket for this stuff. I'll take a little breath. What questions do we have?
Jeremy Karskadin said, Birmingham, Alabama, my supervisor puts me in for sick leave for 2 hours while I go to therapy. My claim has been underdeveloped. The health nurse for USPS is requesting my doctor's notes that I'm turning into my supervisor. The health nurse and emailing them to the chain of command. And yes, they fix it the next day. Is this some sort of harassment, and should I file an EEO?
Well, I love filing EEOs, so if you can get that done, you can at least, let me say this, call EEO, talk to one of their advisors or counselors, I think they're called EEO counselors, and tell them your story and ask them if you've got a valid complaint. Do that. And then do it. If they say, yeah, that's a valid complaint, make it happen. Don't put up with this stuff. So a couple of things happen there. They're making you use your sick time. But if your claim's not accepted yet, I don't have a lot of problem with that, because you need to get paid. And I don't want you not having a paycheck, right? But later on when your claim's accepted, you can go and get that time back. You can buy your time back, okay? But when your claim's accepted, they have to allow you to use LWOP, and you fill out a CA-7 form and account for your time. As far as anybody wanting your medical records, they have no right to that. They have a right to a CA-17 and a CA-20. That's what they have a right to. And they can ask for all the CA-20s and 17s they want, but they don't have any right to your medical records from your doctor. And some supervisors, speaking of woodshed night, some supervisors will call the doctor's office and ask the doctor for records. They're not allowed to call your doctor.
No.
I tell all of our doctors, if a supervisor or HR calls you to discuss anybody's case, hang up. Hang up, call the patient and tell them to go talk to their union to file a grievance, because there are laws against this. The supervisors are not allowed to call your doctor. Now, if you're there and you know the call is going to happen, they're allowed to make that call because you approved it. But they can't just call the doctor outside of your knowledge and ask for stuff, because all they're going to do is take a medical report that they don't understand because they don't have a medical license, and they're going to try to use what they don't understand to penalize you.
Yeah.
So they have no right to it. They get a CA-17 and they get a CA-20. And if they don't like that, I don't really care. And neither should you. Because like I said to the Social Security folks that day, repeat after me. I don't care what my supervisor thinks.
You guys have to remember, if something happens to you guys and you can't be at work anymore, they don't care. They're going to hire somebody else.
Yeah,
They
you're
could
just,
care
you're
less.
gone. You're recyclable.
You're
That's it.
another person. Take care of you. Who cares if they harass you? File a grievance on that.
Yeah,
If
file
they
a
try to
grievance.
fire you, file a grievance. Get with your NBA, get with your district rep or your union rep, whoever. let them harass you. Get it on camera, get it on paper, whatever they're doing. Text. Keep all your text messages that are coming from the supervisor.
And when you have strong union folks like Rich
Yeah.
Ray and like Tish,
Al,
yeah, come on.
Nick.
It wouldn't be good for your supervisors to do that stuff. So you follow the rules and you use the rules. Use the rules. This is the key. You know, there's this door you want to get behind, and behind it is the solution to everything. It's the rules. It's understanding what's going on. And look, you're not here, and for those of you that are new here, this show tonight is not a show so that you'll buy books. That's not the point. The books are only here because you're here. Without you, I don't need to write these books.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are for you. Let me tell the next rule because we're gonna have plenty of time for questions.
Todd, just go on the federalinjurycenters.com and find all the locations there. We don't have another website for locations.
You can go to OWCPchats.com.
Well, I'm talking about,
And the link to OWCPchats.com on locations is going to take you here anyways. So either way, you end up right there. All right, so check this out. The next problem that supervisors cause is they tell you have to go to their doctor. If you work for the VA, they tell you have to go to the VA doctor, who doesn't have time for you anyways. Every VA is freaking busy, okay? Doing very important things. Not that you're not important, but they have a purpose. And their purpose is not OWCP, so they don't get claims accepted. They just get them denied. But supervisors will tell you all the time, go to the urgent care. Well, at the urgent care, all they have is nurse practitioners, which is fine. Nurse practitioners are fantastic. You can use nurse practitioners every single day in OWCP. The problem is, at urgent cares, the medical doctor doesn't countersign the reports. Denied. Every time. So your supervisors are sending you off to get denied. Do not go to the doctor they tell you to go to.
Yes.
The only exception to this is if you got a broken leg or you're bleeding, you need stitches, you got bit by a dog, you think you might have an infection, and you're worried about your well-being. Now go to the ER. Go to the urgent care. Get it taken care of. But tomorrow, go to an OWCP doctor.
Yeah.
Don't go back. You go back, it becomes your doctor, your host. And they're not allowed to do this. And so I'm going to read some rules to you. They're really important. You have the right to choose your own doctor, and nobody can stand in the way of that right. Nobody can punish you for that right. So there's a form called a CA-810, which is almost like a little book. But it says, an employee is entitled to initial choice of physician, period. And later on it says, agency, follow this one. This is page 125 of this book. Agency personnel may not interfere with the employee's right to choose a physician. They may not interfere with your right to choose your own doctor. Nor may they require you to go to a physician who's employed by or under contract to the agency before going to your own physician. That means VA employees do not have to go to VA doctors. They cannot require you to do it. And then over here, no, that's it. So you have the right to choose your own doctor. But there's this other really funny rule. Oh, here it is. Oh, this one's great. This one says, the employer should advise the employee of the right to his or her initial choice of physician.
Yep.
And the employer shall allow the employee to select a qualified physician. So here's a rule in the Code of Federal Regulations. It's back to 20 CFR 10.300. That's so laughable because it says that the employer, your supervisor, is supposed to inform you that it's your right to choose your own doctor. They don't do that. Instead, they tell you, like that VA employee the one time who said his supervisor was going to fire him because he, quote, went around her and found his own doctor. Went around her? She had nothing to do with this. Supervisors, here's your job. Fill out the forms and get the hell out of the way. That's your job. You did it. Congratulations. That's it. There's nothing else for you to do. Get out of the way.
Bye-bye.
At this point, it's between the employee who's hurt and their doctor.
Yeah.
Not you. You have no place here. You want to know something? Get a CA-20. Get a CA-17. That's it. Don't call the doctor. Don't harass your people. Don't think you have some authority that you don't have. Look, you have nothing. You have less authority than what has a little bit of authority? Almost nothing.
The people that don't do the grocery at the grocery store, the cashiers.
Oh man, you got less authority than cashiers at a grocery store. It's pretty bad. So, yeah, there you go. So what else we got?
Okay.
I got another one coming, but that's the role I want to talk about here.
There is a ton of questions. Okay,
Bring it.
Christy Childs Ray. I filed a CA2 for tennis elbow, and I'm waiting on it to be approved. My MRI says I have a tear in my tendon. If it needs surgery, will I still get paid if I'm off of work?
You will not even get surgery if that diagnosis is not an approved condition. So that's really important. Your doctor's got to be able to get that diagnosis approved. Otherwise, you're not even going to get surgery. With that said, if it's approved and you get surgery and you're out of work, you will definitely be able to get paid. You'll fill out a form CA7. You'll account for all your time. You'll turn that in with the proper documentation. And by the way, the proper documentation you'll find in these books too. I don't keep anything a secret from any of you. But yeah, that was a long way to say, yeah, you can get paid for that.
All right. John Bryan says, Dr. Hawkins, what made you want to do what? Oh my God. What made you want to do this when most don't?
Well, I don't want to speak for her, but I will tell you something that I saw that she said. She was, and this doesn't happen often, she was excited that she was the first doctor to do this. You know, most doctors don't want any part of it. They don't want to touch it. In fact, they look around and go, nobody else is doing it, so I don't want it. She was excited to do it, and I've been able to speak with her a few times, and you know, this is a challenge that she's up for. So regardless of her reason, thank God that she said yes. And by the way, she said yes without me even having to really work very hard. She just kind of said yes.
Those of you that want to email Chris your paperwork, you email it at info, I-N-F-O, at federalinjurycenters.com. We'll get it from you guys there.
Yeah, that's faster than emailing me directly because somebody will help me see that I need to do something with it. So definitely info at federalinjurycenters.com.
Janet McIntosh said, I finally received my back pay from April 2020. Never give up. Absolutely.
That's exactly freaking right. Never, ever, ever give up.
Arlene Duffy says, supervisor lied claiming I didn't give him a CA2 and a CA16. Claim for COP denied. How do I get my annual and sick back? How do I report him?
Okay, so the whole thing confused me a little bit what you said because CA16 doesn't go with a CA2. And you don't give a CA2 or a 16 to the supervisor. They give it to you. I'm just confused. So I'm sure you meant CA1, but those things come from the supervisor. But yeah. Message us on this because I can see that you have a valid complaint. I just don't understand the question, and we will help you with a little conversation with you.
Jeremy, you said, what if you're a union president and your union doesn't want to have anything to do with you? Contact National.
Or just go up the chain. You know, whoever's the next up on the ladder, call them. Somebody definitely wants to help you. And in fact, it's likely that your local folks do want to help you. They're just maybe confused or overworked, or they don't know a lot about federal workers' comp. It happens. You know, we teach stewards all the time. We go into unions and teach all the time because, you know, helping them helps you. Sometimes there's just not a good understanding of what's going on yet.
Christina Rentz said, I have $151,000 for future benefits from a third-party lawsuit. Went to the doctor for fourth surgery to remove scar tissue. OWCP refused it and said it was not work-related. Oh, gee.
Well, when they say it's not work-related, it just means that the doctor didn't write a adequate narrative. So you got to take your denial, and you got to take it back to your doctor. You got to find the paragraph in the denial letter that says specifically your claim is denied because, and have your doctor address that with a new medical narrative report.
Dale Campbell said, hurt on August 27th. As of today, no word or accepted or denied. How long does it take? I filed all forms on time.
I know, it takes a long time. There's no rules for claims examiners that tell them they have to decide or do anything in any period of time. So when you start to feel like it's taking too long, you got to call your claims examiner and ask, hey, is there anything you need from me to speed this thing up? I don't recommend, I used to, but I don't recommend anymore that you call up and, call every single day because they get annoyed. And all that does is, I've been hearing it puts you at the bottom of the list. So instead, call and be real nice and say, is there anything else I can do to help you help me?
Yeah. Veronica Brown said, I've worked for 6 years and never seen a CA-16.
I'd say get in line, but you're already in it. You just described what most people say. They've never even heard of a CA-16. But when you get it, you don't have to make financial decisions for your health. It's so critically important that you get a CA-16 if you have a CA-1 claim, and you've got to report your injury now. Because the rule states that you have 7 days to report in order to be eligible for the CA-16. If you don't report in 7 days, you're never getting it no matter what. So report now, right away. Stop what you're doing and report.
She said 4 hours to give you a CA-16. My office doesn't care.
Well, make
File
them
a
care.
grievance.
Make them care. File a grievance. Call OSHA. Ask if you have a valid complaint.
Yeah.
File EEO. Or call EEO. See if you have a valid complaint. Make them care. Don't give up. So when I say don't quit, don't give up, I mean even on this stuff. Don't back down. Don't take no for an answer when the answer is yes, and the law said so.
Portal Maria said, Doctor I went to didn't complete the CA-16, then he sends me a bill.
Well, some doctors, I hope it's not one of ours, some doctors are idiots, and they're untrained, or both, I don't know, and or. So you can talk to your doctor and say, hey, did you know if you have a CA-16, you don't have to send me a bill? The whole point of this form is that it pays you.
Yeah. Matt Hayes, how do we notify the Department of Labor of a change of address?
You could probably e-comp it to your claims examiner and just say, hey, here's a change of address form you can call. But those are my two ideas.
Lisa Johnson said, what should I do? Supervisor didn't turn in the CA-1 until I visited the doctor for 2 visits. Now everything is behind and possibly being denied.
Well, I'm not sure why the supervisor did that, but there is a rule for this if it was for this purpose. They waited for you to go to the doctor for 2 visits. That's pretty stupid.
Oh, boy.
But they're not allowed to wait for medical documentation. That was my point. They're required to immediately give you a CA-1. When you say I'm hurt, they're supposed to give you your CA-1 today and turn it in. They have 10 days from the date of filling it out to turn it into OWCP. And there's no exception to that. They have to just turn it in immediately. The rule states that they cannot wait for medical documentation before sending it in. And under any circumstance, they just can't. They have to just turn it in and not wait. So there was no reason for them to do that. I'd file a grievance.
Veronica also said, I filed a grievance, still nothing. I'm just going to print one out. My supervisor laughs at me when I fill out injury claims.
Oh, that's funny?
Not cool.
Oh, yeah, being hurt's really hilarious.
Yeah.
Need to take that supervisor behind the woodshed. And by the way, I'm not an advocate for real violence. It's just words. I don't mean to go out and try to hurt somebody with plywood. So please don't do that.
Find a woodshed?
No, don't use any objects to hurt people. Use the rules. Believe me, the rules are way more painful. The last thing that I'm going to talk to you about is going to tell you why the rules are more painful. So just hang on. We'll answer a few more questions.
Danielle Brown said, I didn't get a CA-16 in December 2020 when I got hurt. Is it too late to file a grievance?
I think you have 30 days to file a grievance. I could be wrong. Check with your union. You're definitely not getting a CA-16, which sucks. But I'd file a grievance if you can.
Wow,
hell, I'd file a grievance just for fun. I gotta be honest with you. Like when I'm finished watching football and I'm like on fire because my team won, the next thing I want to do is file a grievance. That'd be a lot of fun.
Rich Ray said, every member in Branch 99 is getting a copy of your free forms requesting CA-16, including a CA-10. Every member is getting a copy mailed to their homes at the end of the month. Not only am I posting it, I'm mailing it. And if I have to tattoo each member's ass, they need to start using their rights. Enough is enough with poor management. We, the union workers, we are not treated with respect, then we demand it. Without us standing together, these abusive managers get away with murder. Amen.
Rich, you just put tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like literally. That's I hate that part. Yeah, I just get too emotional.
He
That
definitely is. Oh.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I made a series of forms, like 5 or 6 of them, or 7. I don't know how many I made. I just make them. When I see a problem, I make a form and I solve the problem. Go to OWCPchats.com, www.OWCPchats.com. You'll be required to register. Don't be alarmed. I'm not spamming you. I've never emailed anybody because of that, although I will if you want me to. I'm trying to find out where you're located so that I can be sure I'm looking in those areas for doctors. That's because, we train doctors. So just register. There's no harm done. You're not going to be bothered by me unless you want to be. But then you'll be able to find the free forms that I made, and one of them is a form that will help your supervisors want to give you a CA-16, because all of these rules are listed on the forms, and it even has on the CA-16 form, it has a place where you write the time you requested it and the time you received it. Because if it's 4 hours and 1 minute, file a damn grievance.
Yeah. Victor Sanchez, you said USPS management hates EEOs, and I love it.
Oh, I love it even more than
great.
you. You wouldn't even believe how much I love EEOs. When I was researching it for my book, I was like, man, I want to file EEO claims so bad. But what I like even more, if you'll allow me, I'm going to do this next thing. What I like even more is OSHA, okay? You want to talk about like the ultimate hammer, proverbial hammer. Don't use a hammer on your supervisors. I'm going to read some stuff, some criminal stuff that you're going to just love, okay? And those of you that stuck around, you waited for the best part. This is like the grand finale. On 4th of July fireworks show, this is the ending of the fireworks show. It is a crime to prevent you from filing a work injury claim. It's a crime to prevent you from filing a work injury claim. 20 CFR 10.16 says, letter A number of statutory provisions make it a crime to file a false or fraudulent claim or statement with the government in connection with a claim under FECA. So let me stop there. When they're filling out your CA1 form, that second page, box 28, 29, 35, 36, they can write things about you that are negative that could, not with our doctors, but they could hurt your claim. Well, if they write a knowingly false statement, that's a crime, and it's punishable by fines and imprisonment. Crime. Well, the next part of that says, or to wrongfully impede a FECA claim. So follow me. If a supervisor told you they were going to fire you if you filed a work injury claim, would that wrongfully impede your claim? If they told you you're not getting a CA-16, you're going to lose money if you file this claim, would that wrongfully impede your claim? If they say, well, we're not going to have any work for you, so you're just SOL, would that wrongfully impede your claim? If they were going to send you to a station for your limited duty 49 miles away, or more than 50, which is against the rules, would that wrongfully impede your claim? This thing is saying it is a crime to wrongfully impede a FECA claim. And the United States Code, 18 U.S.C. 1922, this is even better. It says, whoever induces, compels, or directs an injured employee to forgo filing an injury claim shall be fined, imprisoned, or both. Fined, imprisoned, or both. So whoever induces, compels, or directs an injured employee to forgo filing an injury claim shall be fined, imprisoned, or both. And here's some more. So I said OSHA. OSHA, you can go to osha.gov/workers, okay? Or you can just read my book and it'll be in here, page 133. It is illegal for an employer to fire, demote, transfer, or otherwise retaliate against a worker for using their rights under the law. The sixth right under the law for OSHA is the right to report a work injury, just so you know. If you believe you've been retaliated against in any way, file a whistleblower complaint within 30 days of the alleged retaliation. You call 1-800-321-OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA, and you tell them your story. Now, a lot of people don't want to make accusations, and I'm fine. I'm probably one of them, to be totally honest with you. But ask questions. Like, my supervisor refused to let me fill out a CA1. Is that a safety violation? My supervisor won't give me a CA2. Is that a safety violation? My supervisor won't give me a CA-17 so my doctor can restrict my duties and keep me safe at work. Would that be a safety violation? My supervisor threatened to fire me. My supervisor did fire me. Are those safety violations? When OSHA says, yeah, that's a safety violation, they're going to come in. They're going to look at your file, and they're going to look at the files of every other person that ever filed a work injury. That's powerful. Okay, so I hope you will not keep taking this laying down. When they threaten you, 1-800-321-OSHA. When they refuse to let you report your injuries, 1-800-321-OSHA. Okay? Every single time, call OSHA. You have to put a stop to it. Look, I'm here teaching you, but you got to do it. I can't call OSHA for you. What are they going to do? They're going to ask me what agency I work for and be like, the agency if I'm just telling you something, you know? So you've got to handle it. 1-800-321-OSHA. But it is a crime to do what they do to you every single day. And if you stop putting up with it, you'll start winning. And you'll stop going into financial ruin like this thing says. And I titled the book on purpose because I've heard too many people say they suffer financial destruction. Homelessness, like Rich said. You know, we can't have that anymore. And all of that happens because you're scared to report your injuries, because you can't find a doctor to get your claim approved, because you don't get a CA-16, or like we didn't talk about it, but you don't elect continuation of pay. And so all of those things make it impossible for you to be able to navigate your life after you're hurt at work. And that's unacceptable. And if you're here watching, you clearly care. So care enough to get other people here watching. The level of which I'm fired up is not fake. This Woodshed Night just does this to me. Okay, I came into this deal fired up for some other reasons. So, 1-800-321-OSHA. Don't put up with that crap anymore. What you got?
Okay, there's 100 questions.
Well, we'll get to as many of the 100 questions as we can.
Stacy Giddings, I'm so glad you're having this discussion tonight. In Wisconsin, I've been having major issues. I got hurt December 2018. In early 2020, my postmaster had me do something that was beyond my restrictions. Long story short, I've been off work, doctor restrictions since 2020. I had epidural injections, and late August, OWCP sent me for a second opinion. That doctor says I'm basically all better, which I'm not. My doctor still says I need to be off due to numbness in the legs. They certified me in a letter stating I'm coming back to the post office for 8 hours a day with 20-pound restrictions. I don't know what to do.
Have your doctor write what's called a disability narrative. And in that narrative, your doctor, not that second doctor, your doctor is explaining medically why you can't be at work. See, these supervisors don't have medical licenses, and they send people to second opinion doctors who barely even look at you, never touch you. They don't review records. And I'm only speaking from what other people have told me 100 times, right, or more. And so they're making decisions because the agency pays them to make those decisions. You got to have your doctor write a report that explains, hey, look, this is not going to work for you. This person's going to get hurt and be on disability or whatever. And explain medically why you medically can't do the job because your legs are numb. And because you have numb legs, you can't drive your vehicle because you can't feel the pedal. Or you can't walk to carry the mail because your legs are numb and you can't walk. Or, if you work at the VA, you can't lift patients because one of your legs isn't working and you need your legs to be able to have support. Your doctor's going to have to write medically why you can't work and explain it in medical terms that nobody at your agency is going to understand because they're not doctors, but have them write.
And it was still denied. What can she do? Because her job has put her on a 2-week suspension for not coming to work. She filed a grievance, but he didn't do anything.
Okay, so denials come with a form at the back of the denial letter called an appeal request form, and you got to file for reconsideration. That gives you 12 months. You have 12 months to appeal. It allows your doctor to write new information based on that denial letter to overturn the denial and get it approved. As far as the punishment coming in from management, you got to go to your union and get help. And Rich is on here. I'm sure Rich is going to come in and give you some better advice than I can when it comes to union stuff, because I don't have it. But I know you got to go file a grievance because they're taking advantage of you. It's not over yet. You had a denial. So what? There's lots of denials. It happens, but we can overturn denials. That's why they give you reconsideration options.
Yeah, but she's being forced to go back to work.
Well, it's a union issue and a doctor issue. The doctor's got to write a report explaining why you can't go back to work, and the union's got to help enforce it. I hope that's helpful. I mean, it's frustrating. The answer to me is frustrating, but it's what you got to do.
Lamika said, I have approved CA2, but just got back to work after 5 months off. Can I get paid from DOL when I take a day, when I take a sick day or have a doctor appointment?
Yeah, if you ever have to take off from work to go to the doctor related to your approved work injury, you fill out a form CA7, you select letter A for LWOP, leave without pay, and get documentation from your doctor that you were there and why you needed to be off work to go to the doctor.
Leslie McCabe said, I had a traumatic injury and had to stay overnight at the hospital. Almost 4 years later and still getting a $17,000 hospital bill. The hospital coded the billing wrong and work comp said it was too late a year later when they recorded it 4 times in the first year. I'm so afraid it's going to go on my
credit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So billing offices, billing managers, billing people in hospitals don't know anything about OWCP. It's one of the reasons I suggest people don't go to hospitals unless you just have to. When you take a CA-16, the hospital billing people should know what to do with it. If not, you should call and tell them. But if you're getting a bill, that means they didn't get paid. If they didn't get paid, it probably means your claim's not accepted. If you get your claim accepted, they'll probably get paid, but they'll have to rebill it. This is something we can probably help you with if you send us a private message.
Yeah.
We also have a billing company that does OWCP, and we could probably help your hospital stop billing you.
Latrice Child says, what if they ask for a doctor's note along with these forms?
SOL, which stands for shucks, you're out of luck. They're allowed to have a CA-20 and a CA-17. Doctors do not have to submit narrative reports to supervisors who don't understand what's in the damn report in the first place.
For the book, once we get off, you're going to go click the shop button and it'll take you to the website. Unless you just want to go straight to the website, it's breakingowcp.com. That's where you can get the second book as well. There's t-shirts, there's mugs, there's hats, masks, and the books, and all the forms.
There's an insulated wine cup, too.
An insulated cup, because somebody asked for an insulated cup.
Yeah.
Lamika says, how do I get work comp? How do I get workers' comp? I'm working in so much pain every day and really need time off, but almost out of leave.
How you get workers' comp? Is that the question? I'm just making sure. Okay. Tomorrow. What's her name? Sorry. Lamika. Tomorrow. As soon as you clock in, go clock in first. Once you clock in, go to your supervisor. Maybe take a steward with you. I would recommend it just in case, a union steward, shop steward. And go to your supervisor and tell them you need to report your injury. Now, if your injury happened in a single shift, you need a CA-1. If your injury is something that developed over time, 2 or more shifts, weeks, years, months, whatever, you need a CA-2. Go in there and demand it. It's your right. And remember, it's a crime for them to prevent you from doing this. So take a steward with you, go tomorrow, report your injury, get a copy of all the forms that you fill out with your supervisor, and take it to your doctor. And have your doctor write a great narrative report, get your claim accepted, and start getting better.
We will be coming to, where did you say, Delaware? We just don't know when. And I know you're begging and asking please, but we really don't know because we don't have a doctor there yet. We're looking.
We really want to come to all the 50 states, but we've got to, at this moment, we have to prioritize the areas where we have doctor's offices because we're still in training. And so I've got to go to these offices and make sure that all the training's worked out so that when you get there, things work out really good for you.
Susan Dale said, how should I prepare myself for the disability rating appointment? I'm afraid that my doctor won't listen to me and just come up with a rating.
Well, if it's your doctor and not a second opinion doctor, I wouldn't be worried about that. But if your doctor is not trustworthy, find another doctor for a disability rating. Because the doctor's opinion is pretty irrelevant when it comes to a 6th edition impairment rating. They have to follow the guide and do what the book tells them to do. So hopefully their opinion won't play into it and they'll just follow the guide. But if they don't know how to do a 6th edition impairment rating, run. Okay? Run fast. Run far away.
Lisa Johnson said, I had an initial evaluation, physical therapy, but the follow-up has been put on hold because DOL has my case under consideration. Physical therapy has told me to contact DOL. How do I go forward? Nobody answers the phone.
Find a new doctor. So that frustrates me. The reason we have a franchise, Federal Injury Centers is a franchise, which means that although we don't tell doctors, I definitely don't tell doctors, none of us do, tell doctors how to treat. We don't tell doctors how to make medical decisions, treatment decisions. What we can do is put certain rules in place for the operations of the practice. And one of the rules that we put in place is we never give up. We never send people away. If claims are accepted, we work for free. We do everything that we would do just like we're getting paid. So our offices work no matter what the status of your claim is because it's our job to get it accepted. If your claim's not accepted, and your doctor refuses to continue treating you, it's your doctor's fault. Your claim's not accepted. Find a new one.
Priscilla Brown said, torn ACL May 2020. Surgery date was August 25th, 2020. I received an 8-point letter. Doctor filled it out and sent it in. Now DOL has sent me a second opinion doctor appointment. What do I need to do because I have been going to the same doctor who did my ACL reconstruction surgery?
Well, for sure, before you go to the second opinion doctor, ask your doctor to fill out a CA-17, fill out a CA-20, and to give you a copy of your narrative report that explains everything that's going on with you, and keep it in your hands. And then when you walk into the room with the second opinion doctor, reach out like this, okay? Pretend this is your documents. Reach out like this. The doctor's in front of you, okay? Hold this in front of you and say, here, doctor, please take this. And do not put your hand down until the doctor takes it out of your hand. No matter what, just stand like this. I don't care. If your arm gets tired, switch arms. Make your doctor take the records, because what I hear too many times is they don't look at anything and they just make a bad decision. Give them information. Put them on the spot. Let them know that I know you have good information here. Take a look at it.
Garrett, you said, how long does the request for surgery authorization supposed to take? So this also goes with reconsiderations and your first time filing.
But your request for surgery takes up to 72 hours to get a decision.
Should.
But if your claim's not approved, you're never getting a decision because they won't ever let you have surgery because your claim's not approved. Also, if your diagnosis is not surgical, you're never getting surgery. Oftentimes, all the time, every week, multiple times a week, we hear somebody say, but my claims examiner won't approve surgery. What's their problem? Why won't they approve surgery? And I say, well, what's your approved condition? What's a sprain? Well, sprains aren't surgical. Well, I know, but I have an MRI that shows a tear. Well, what's your approved condition? A sprain. Your doctor's got to add the tear, the worse condition, to your accepted claim by doing a diagnosis expansion. Once that's done and approved, then surgery will be nearly automatically approved within 72 hours.
Tim Jones says, I was relieved of my duties against my will the first time on Christmas, even then rescinded and invoked again on February 14th. Been on work comp for 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
We have a new record. I've never even heard of anybody being on for 20 years. I mean, I've heard close to that, but 20 is like, in my mind, the new record. So.
Colleen Baver says, how much influence does a supervisor's or postmaster's response to your CA2 have? One responded, challenge forthcoming. What does that mean? Is she just trying to intimidate me?
Well, for sure, but if you could get that in writing, you file it in the trash can by wadding it up really tight, and you can practice if you miss, just keep going back and practice some more. When your doctor writes a narrative report, the claims examiner is going to 100% ignore your supervisor. So I recommend they go all out of their way. Write like a whole novel. Take all the time they can take. It'll be very painful for them to do it. Have them spell check and send it to an editor and everything. So it'll be very painful because in the end, it's going in the trash.
Yeah.
It's just BS. Who cares? Let them say or do whatever they want. The doctor's information massively outweighs anything the supervisor can say.
Sheila said, I just filled out my CA1 for breaking my ankle at work. Ouch.
Yeah. So did you get a CA16? If not, and it's been less than 7 days, go back.
I'm scheduled for surgery this Friday. What form do I need to fill out after surgery?
Well, let's talk about right now. You're going for surgery, get a CA16 so you don't have to pay money out of your pocket for that surgery. That's really important. Go back and demand that form. Take a shop steward with you. Demand it, okay? You need to get the rolls. You got to have a CA16. After that, it's, you're going to go to the doctor. You're going to have post-op therapy. You're going to have whatever the doctor needs you to do to get better. And you'll be filling out CA7 forms to take care of your time off. Hopefully in box 15 of your CA1, you elect a continuation of pay so you can get paid. So check that out. Did you elect COP? If not, you're going to be using your sick and annual leave. But COP will give you 45 days of time off.
Christina said, thank you so much for your info. I really enjoy you guys and would like to work in a field like this when I retire. I love nitpicking OWCP.
Well, I do too. I like actually breaking it down. Look, my book's called Breaking OWCP. Like, that wasn't an accident. That's how I feel.
If I filed untimely matter but never got a CA16, can I still file one?
can you still get a CA? You can only get a CA-16 if you report within 7 days. But it's my experience that after day 8, even if you report it on time, you're not getting it. You should file a grievance, because you're not supposed to ask for it. They should just give it to you. It's the rules.
Dale said, I printed all your forms off your site and had my supervisor sign them. She was delivering rights, so had no time. Thank you for all the education on how to do this, or I'd be screwed.
That's good work on your part. Great job doing that.
Veronica said, my office hates me. I stand up for myself. I've been harassed since I've been back to work after being out for 4 years.
Repeat after me. I don't care what my supervisor thinks. Take care of yourself. That's number 1.
Any NALC shop stewards on here, please hit like to this.
If you're an NALC shop steward, hit the like button. We want to see it. We want to see a bunch of blue thumbs up. I like the hearts too, but hit a bunch of like buttons if you're an NALC steward. There's one.
Anne said, I think we have 14 days to file a grievance.
Well, it's different for each craft. Each union has different rules. You got to consult your contract or talk to your union reps.
Jeremy, this is cute. Why is the United States Postal Service able to promote other businesses for their injuries, what they send you, but they can't promote you guys as federal injury centers?
I got to be honest with you. It's a nice question. If your supervisors, your agency started promoting us, you'd stop paying attention because you'd probably think, what the hell's in it for them? I don't want to be on the same side with your supervisors. I just don't want to be. I'm never going to be. I just can't. We're never going to be in line.
H.M. Rosa said, we need you in Utah. I need to be in Utah. I'm already having homesick
She was a cheerleader at the University of Utah. The only school whose letters are UU. That's very unique. That's very unique. UU, it's unique.
Veronica said, I came back in January because of a dumb third opinion. Doctor said I can come back. My doctor was pretty much over it, so he did nothing. I've been back since January this year. I had my right meniscus repaired. My station has nothing but hills and stairs, which is not good for someone that had knee surgery. Correct.
So remember this, and this is, by the way, I am not suggesting you go to work tomorrow and fill this form out. But remember, there's a form called a CA2A. It's a notice of recurrence. If you're back at work and something you're doing causes you to worsen or cause your condition to come back, you have rights. You have lifetime medical benefits once your claim is accepted. So if you have a recurrence of your condition because you went back to work, you can fill out a CA2A and get help some more.
Veronica said, now that I'm going to one of your offices, I have a brown cirrus in my right foot. I have torn meniscus in my calf. My knee still feels like a rubber band is in it if I can calm too much. Now I'm on light duty. My supervisor hates it. He told me today if I go to the bathroom more than twice while in the office, I had to bring him a note.
File an EEO claim. Call EEO right away and file a grievance.
I have a finger.
Yeah, I got 2 of them.
I won't put it up.
I got 2 of them. You can use your imagination. You need to contact EEO and tell them that just happened. Tell them your story.
James said, my supervisor fired me because I couldn't work because of 2 torn rotators and labrums. What?
Was your claim accepted? If your claim's accepted, your supervisor broke the law. Either way, you should contact OSHA and tell them that happened. And your union should be fighting for you right now.
Miss Rosa Utah said, OSHA, my go-to when my postmaster tried to discipline me for filing a claim years ago. We went at it for years. PM eventually taken out of the office. Long battle though, 8 years. What?
Hey, but you know what? You fought that fight for 8 years. You are my new hero. Good job.
Tanya said, my stupid advisor told me they would fire me if I filed a claim. She was suspended for 2 weeks with no pay. That's why they laugh. Yeah. Tressa said, we need doctors in West Virginia. I'm driving to Federal Injury Center in Charlotte now, which is 4 hours for me, but I'm just thankful I have someone here to help.
Yeah,
Aww.
I'm really sorry you have to drive so far. Look, if there was an office closer to you that even not related to us, I'd be the first one to tell you to go there. There's just not one.
Veronica said, he yells and argues with you on the floor in front of everyone. He talks about you to the other supervisors while you're on the floor. That's not good. You better get your union.
What's your union doing?
Yeah.
What are they doing? Because the union reps, presidents that I know won't put up with that.
Tanya, OSHA is OSHA. There's not a federal OSHA or a state OSHA. It's just OSHA. It works for both.
OSHA.gov.
Roxanne Kimball said, how about getting other injured workers work part-time and telling me I have to be 100% of them didn't even have a claim?
I don't know. I don't listen to what anybody else says unless it's me. But I'm not anybody else. I'm me. Just listen to what I'm telling you.
I would love to have that OSHA number. I'll call it tomorrow.
1-800-321-OSHA. It is literally the easiest phone number in the world to remember. 1-800-321-OSHA.
I know.
I'm thinking about changing our phone number. I swear to God, today I thought about this. I thought about changing our number to... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say it out loud because somebody's going to take the phone number. It's that good of a phone number.
Yeah, just like somebody took our number. Okay. Jeremy says... People. I know employees in other departments that would love for somebody to come in investigate Birmingham, Alabama.
It's been done.
We've heard it already a couple times.
There was a postmaster who was fired and a supervisor who was fired in Birmingham. Ask around. You'll probably get a good story.
Yeah. Jacqueline, you said, is management required to offer me a job while I'm on light duty?
They are required, when your claim is accepted, to offer a limited duty assignment that fits or matches your CA-17 restrictions. Your claim's got to be accepted.
Diane Ramirez said, lost my HRMS position last month due to reorg.
Ron said, he goes, file a grievance shirts. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Lost my HRMS position last month due to reorg. Was awarded a supervisor position. So glad for the experience since now I know what my employees are entitled to. You do such great service to educate injured employees. Keep up the good work. See, that's a supervisor. Way to go, Diane Ramirez.
Diane, thank you very much.
You're number one.
And by the way, don't change. I'm telling you, don't change. You're going to hurt people if you do. Thank you for having that position. I appreciate that.
Utah. Okay. Ronky Winter said, I'm dealing with the exact same thing. I had an injury on the job back in June and was denied. Now I'm going through a reconsideration. I never got COP and management, and my OWCP has treated me like garbage. What do you do in this case?
Can I say it again? I like to get these right.
She said, what do you do in this case?
Oh, well, okay. I mean, you're going through reconsideration, but if you didn't get your COP and you elected it on box 15 of your CA1 form and you didn't get it, all I can tell you is you got to go to your union to get help. Because when you elect COP in box 15, you're supposed to get it. But the very last question on the second page of the CA1 to the supervisor is if you intend, or if the agency intends to controvert continuation of pay, state the reason why here. So you want to go back and look at the last question on the second page of the CA1 and see if they intended to controvert COP all along. It might give you a clue.
She also said, my doctor stated I cannot go back to work because my injury won't let me.
Well, the doctor is in charge. I don't know what to say past that. The supervisors are supposed to follow the CA-17, the duty status report, which sometimes just says you're off work.
Ashley Mark says, I see hashtag file a grievance shirt, just bought one. Hoodie season is coming up. Any chance those are going to be available soon?
If you want them as hoodies, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You just got to tell me what you want.
Yeah, we're going to put hoodies
put 'em
up. I've told him to put so much stuff up and he just wants me out of his face.
Well, none of that's possibly true. Look at that face.
I'm so glad I found your office, Veronica. Thank you. Leslie said, thank you. I'll private message you tomorrow. This has been so stressful on this bill, and it was an approved comp case. They just keep refusing to pay the hospital bill.
I know. Well, they're not refusing to pay the hospital bill. The hospital's doing it wrong. I'm just saying. My entire adult life has been in healthcare, so I know exactly what happened. The hospital's just making mistakes.
Oh, Sasshole just got sent to collections for physical therapy bill.
Okay, if you're being sent to collections for a physical therapy bill, the first question is your claim accepted? The second question is, does the PT place have your 9-digit claim number? The third question is, did they bill it? Because if they billed it, they're getting paid. Did they pre-authorize it is a question too.
Portal Maria said, is it difficult to get a new doctor? Wait time is 4 months. I don't know what office you're going, but none of our offices is going to tell you that, because if they do, I need to know about that.
I mean, if you've never been to a doctor, then OWCP has not determined that someone is already your treating physician. You can just go to someone else. Otherwise, request a change of treating doctor and just tell OWCP as your reason that my doctor won't get me in for 4 months. They're going to let you go someplace else.
Oh, Linda Colbert said, can you file for disability for your injuries that you have received from your job at the post office from the past and present workers' comp that still affects you? Well, you need to file a CA2 to qualify.
Well, you can file a CA1 or CA2 regardless. It's just a matter of how the injury happened. But you have 3 years from the date of injury to file your injuries. Regardless, you have 3 years.
Sasshole said, I also got refused 4 hours of LWOP today for the doctor's visit regarding OWCP.
If your claim's accepted, they're not allowed to do that. The rule states that you're allowed up to 4 hours of your work shift to go to the doctor.
Sharon, my claim was approved. Took 3 years to get approved. 3 years?
But approved.
Why would it take that long?
Yeah, but you know what? You didn't give up.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you didn't give up. And that's a lesson to everybody else. Don't give up. Now, Sharon, you have a chance to go back and get all your time and money back for 3 years. Congratulations.
Jacqueline said, VA doctors don't deal with workers' compensation. What do I do in order to get approved?
Go someplace else. Do not go to a VA doctor. Do not, under any circumstance, go to a VA doctor for an OWCP claim. Look, they're world-class doctors. There's nothing wrong with them, but their mission has nothing to do with workers' comp, okay? It's about veterans. They're not trained in OWCP, so go someplace else that is.
Sasshole said, my doctor tried to add the ICD-10 code, and they haven't added it and still denying my second surgery.
Well, the reason they're denying is because the doctor didn't write an adequate diagnosis expansion report to explain medically why that new diagnosis should be added to your existing claim.
Sasshole says, do you guys refer to any attorneys? I'm in Northern Illinois. My union is not backing me at all. They don't know how to deal with work comp. Well, before you go to an attorney, which we will tell you to use Eric Blowers, and I told him just today, we were texting back and forth, that his name is going to come up like 50,000 times.
Is Renee Marie not on tonight? Because normally
No.
she posts all his stuff.
Yeah, no.
Oh, we're missing her.
So Sasshole, if you go here, there's a clinic down in Chicago area. You may want to go see if you want to go there before getting an attorney, and Eric will probably tell you the same thing, especially if it's a denial.
Yeah, normally you don't need a lawyer. You just need a better doctor. Usually.
I did get hurt on the clock. Management has been playing stupid with me. I can't get my union to call me back. Jacqueline, call your NBA. Go down the chain. For NALC, you go to your shop steward. Then you go to the NBA. No. Shops. What was it, Rich? Rich just wrote it down.
No, it's shop steward, president, NBA,
the
national.
Yeah.
But also call OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA. Tell them I'm hurt and they're just giving me the runaround. They won't let me report my injury. Your sixth employee right, according to OSHA, is a right to report an injury. Ask them, is this a violation? They won't let me report my injury. The answer is yes.
You guys see, Victor Sanchez says APW steward here. So if you're a steward,
What's up, Victor?
or a clerk, contact Victor. Let's see. We know you guys pay union fees and you don't get the help, but
No, not always.
I'm saying,
Oh.
But you do definitely need to reach out to your union for things like that. There's nothing that we can say or do to help that issue.
And she did not mean that you don't get help from your union, but we do know that some people don't get help. But that's not the rule. That's the exception.
Right. Donna Hamlet said, I was sent to an urgent care for initial injury, a sprained knee on the 13th. Went back for a follow-up on the 20th. Wants PT, but I haven't received any info for a claim number or case manager. I work for the post office. Did you even file a claim, Donna? Let me know if you did.
Let's start wrapping it up.
Victor Sanchez says, remember, USPS management and supervisors were mismanaged and trained.
I think that's a fact. In fact, both of my books, I wrote chapters at the end just for management. In the off chance that any of them wants to read my book, they can just skip to the very last chapter. If they'll do the stuff I told them to do, it'll make your lives easier.
Lisa John said, the doctor released me to go back to work with restrictions, but my MPOO refuses to let me work. They are using my sick days. What can I do?
Well, if your claim's accepted, and they won't let you work, they can't make you use your sick days. You file for LWOP and you get paid using a CA7. Your union's got to help you with this.
Yeah. Jacqueline Green says, oh, this is so sweet. I have both books. Watch every Wednesday when time allows. Wow, the information y'all provide is absolutely educational. I'll try to notify all the people even if they're not injured. Always good to be in the know. Love you guys.
Thank you so much. We love you too. Thank you.
Donna said, can I go find a different doctor that accepts DOL work comp after going to 2 visits at the urgent care?
Yes, run as fast as you can to another doctor.
Stacy said, do federal injury centers have orthopedics that just deal with the back?
So we don't have orthopedic surgeons in our franchise, but some of our offices, like Dr. Lee in Pinellas Park, have surgeons that have agreed to work with you without taking your money. But it's hit and miss. It's not all over the country.
Ron said, stupid visor t-shirts, let's go. I said that and he
Ron,
said no.
I can't. It's not me. I can't.
You can make it. It could say stupid visors. I think it would be funny.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
How many of you want stupid visor t-shirts on the site? Give us some thumbs up or hearts. Let's see. Watch it go crazy.
I'm going to make a stupid visor shirt and nobody's going to get one. But okay, I'll make it.
Ron will.
Okay, I'll
and
make
maybe
it.
Ray.
It's going to say, don't be a stupid visor. I'm just saying. It's not just going to say stupid visor. It's going to say, don't be one.
The file grievance shirts are on there. We have hashtag file grievance shirts already on there.
There's like 4 pages of stuff. You just have to go to the next page. You'll find it.
Colleen said, just wanted... Look at them. Look at all the hearts. They want stupid visor t-shirts. Yes! I said that.
Oh, my gosh.
That was we were sitting up in our family room one night, and he's trying to say, what should I make? So I started just this. I was thinking about all the carriers and all the AFGE people, and I'm just like, do one that says stupid visors. He shut me down.
Look, I don't really have a mean bone in my body.
It's not a mean bone from you, it's them.
Okay.
Just wanted to do a shout out to the Greenville, South Carolina office. They are an awesome group of people.
Thanks very much for saying that. Dr. Mills is a really nice guy.
Yeah.
I hope to go stay at his cabin one time. He offered that when I first met him.
Our postmaster says that supervisors every time. I don't know how she does it, but he gets saved every time. He has a lot of complaints. The customers in the neighborhood have even went to councilmen and nothing has been done.
That one's like a cat with 9 lives.
Thank you guys for all you do. I gotta get to feeding the boys. I'll keep promoting.
Yeah, thank you. Let people know.
This is my first meeting and I've learned so much. Thank you guys for the service you are doing. I can't express how important it is to have people like you working hard for us. Miss Winters, thank you so much. And this is why we tell you guys to come on here and share to your personal page, share to your Facebook groups, tag a bunch of people. This is why. And thank you so much for that.
And welcome to the show.
Sasshole said, my claim is accepted, and yes, they have the claim number.
Well, they're just jacking with you. They're not allowed to do what they're doing.
Okay, scrolling. Deborah Brooks said, claim is accepted, had a CA-17, rode out for light duty with weight restrictions and no reaching over my shoulders, no oversized packages. The only thing my postmaster is going by is just going by the weight restrictions. I have physical therapy every morning and my postmaster is paying me evaluated time that I'm actually on the job. So am I supposed to get paid from the post office for my time at the PT or LWOP?
LWOP. When you leave, okay, so here's how you know. LWOP stands for leave without pay. This is how I explain it to the doctors and their staff when I'm training them. Leave without pay means you clocked out and you left work without pay and you want to get paid. So you fill out a CA7 and elect LWOP because you want to get paid. That's how you do it.
Oh my God, this is a great shirt, Tanya. She said, don't be a stupid visor, get educated. I'm gonna make that.
Oh, you people are gonna get me in a lot of trouble. I'm gonna make the shirt.
Deborah Book says the Charlotte, North Carolina office is great. Well, that's great feedback, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
We hope you guys enjoyed tonight's, do you have doctors in St. Louis that we could see? Not
Joe,
yet.
No, Joe just met a doctor in St. Louis who said, can I sign up today?
Okay.
But he can't because we have federal law.
Contracts and laws.
Federal law. So we have to wait. But that's a really good sign. We're almost there.
Deborah Saunders says, I normally do more reading than writing on here, so here goes. You guys are awesome. Long story short, I posted a question a few weeks ago regarding a third-party claim and a carrier being struck by a car. Eric is taking care of her on his end, and because I'm her union steward, I'm taking care of her on my end. She's a CCA and did not know her rights. She does now. Exactly.
Thank you so much for stepping up and helping. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, Victor, you're supposed to contact me so we could come out there and do a union meeting for your APW folks.
Waiting on you, Victor.
Thank you guys for a very educational Wednesday night. Y'all are amazing. Thanks for the help. The Postal Service believes any unsolicited information is the best information. Get educated and protect yourselves. She is absolutely right.
That's right, and that's what we're here for. So, is there another question? Otherwise, I'm going to say some stuff.
Yeah, Andrew said, got converted to a regular carrier on August 14th and gave 8-hour restriction, medical restriction. And I'm a city carrier, thank God I have a, okay, no.
Your question's coming so fast you can't keep
I know,
up
I'm
sometimes.
like, what? CA1 still under development of OWCP CE stands. She will be requesting SECOP seriously considering early retirement. Can I still collect whatever would be due from OWCP if I retire is in the process?
Yes. That was easy.
If these guys can't help you all, can't help you, call the number because I called a couple times. They've answered all my questions. They're also great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So that's all for tonight as far as management goes. We probably might do this one more time before the year ends because we know as far as the USPS goes, it's going to be a ship show. I said ship show.
Yeah.
Starting next month until February. So those of you that get injured between now and February,
try not to get injured.
However,
be careful.
File your claim, and if you have to wait till after your shift to start getting treatment, at least you filed your claim and get all your forms and everything. Because if you got injured October and you got your, if you didn't get your CA16, and then when you decide in February to go to the doctor and you don't have a CA16, you're not going to be happy.
Well.
So get all your forms.
Don't wait till February because the CA16 will be invalid by that point.
Well, yeah.
But go to the doctor right away. Let me say this.
It's always a ship show. Yep.
Yeah. When we get closer to the holidays, we're going to have a talk with you about what to do. God forbid you get hurt during the holidays. Because you need to report your injury right away today. You need to immediately go to the doctor and let them get started working on your case. And you may need help. Okay, I know you want the overtime, but you may need to get medical help. And if you do, you do. But whatever you do, don't wait, because you wait, you lose benefits, and we don't want to lose benefits. That's not what we do here. Don't forget, go to breakingowcp.com or just check the shop tab on this page to get these books. You need the books. Even if you're not a reader, you need them. You need to be able to at least know where things are and what chapter and which book so that when you have a problem, you'll know where to reference. That's the whole point. These books are for you. They're not for me. So, I don't know what I'm looking at. Oh.
Yeah.
And so definitely go to breakingowcp.com. If you'll go to OWCPchats.com, you can get all of my free forms that will help you with situations like being able to get a CA16 form. And there's another form that will help your supervisor say yes when you want to report your injuries, because the rules are there that tell them they can go to jail. They don't like that. So we show them, hey, do you want to go be fined or go to jail or both? Or let's fill this form out. So go check out OWCPchats.com for the free forms. Go to federalinjurycenters.com to look at locations, and if you find something that makes sense to you, give them a call. Their exact phone number is there. You won't have to call me, you'll call them.
Also, if you have any other questions that we didn't get to answer or something else you were thinking of, just go ahead, get out of the live, don't forget to share, and don't forget to click that follow button for us to get to 10,000 followers. Help me help you.
Okay, so...
And just put your questions in the messenger.
All right, so... This is way off topic. Just sit back for a minute. You see her makeup? It's actually really fantastic. So you may not know this, especially those of you that are new, but Gini is a makeup artist too. She instructs on this stuff. This has nothing to do with workers' comp. But I'm telling you, she's got this Facebook page called Glamourology. 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 I would really appreciate it. You'd be doing me a personal favor if you go and follow her on that page. It's free to follow. There's no strings attached to it. You go follow. But she does these makeup tutorials, which I thought, when I first started seeing her watching other people do it, I was like,
thank you, Janice.
I started watching her watch other people do it. I'm like, they don't do it as good as you do. And so she started doing it, and she was really kind of self-conscious about being on the camera. I'm like, but we do this every week, you know? So she finally started doing it. She's really freaking good at it. So go to Glamourology. Some of you on here already follow her. Thanks for doing that. But just go do it. It has nothing to do with the workers' comp. That's why we save it to the end. That's why I save it to the end. It was kind of my plan to tell you about it.
Hey,
so,
and if you guys that wear makeup too, I could help you out.
So go check it out. It's Glamour, Glamour-ology. Okay, like biology, Glamourology.
Thank you guys.
But yeah, you know, if you just go and follow, that'd be really great. Yes, on Instagram as well.
Yes, on Instagram as well, Victor.
Yeah, just go follow her on those places. I'm trying to convince her to go do, what's that other one where you do the short videos and it's funny? TikTok. So I'm not like a social media expert. She's really great at it. But go check it out because like you get these close-ups of her doing these videos. Last night she didn't know I was watching. And I was watching
so embarrassed
while she was doing it. I'm like, oh, so that's how she does makeup. Because, you know, I'm like most guys. I don't sit there and watch the thing. I just see the final product. But what she does is really scientific. So check it out, Glamourology.
Best for last. Beautiful. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
I noticed you look marvelous. Oh, thank you guys.
I noticed too.
Oh, brother.
So thank you all for being here. Again, this is Wednesday Night Chats. I'm Chris. That's Gini. We do this every week, except for some weeks we don't, but we let you know when we don't because there's always a good reason. But usually at least 45 weeks out of 52 weeks in a year, we do this.
Yes.
Unless something bad happens, like a hurricane or something, we got to leave the state. So come check us out every week. Tell your friends to get here too. Wednesday Night OWCP Chats. Get the book. Get the books. Tell your friends to get the books. Don't suffer what your supervisors want you to suffer. You don't have to. You just don't have to. It's not inevitable. Denied claims are not inevitable. Losing your job is not inevitable. You do not have to suffer after you get hurt with an OWCP injury. You don't have to. Because when you know the rules, you can overcome everything your supervisor is throwing your way. So get the books. Follow us here. Tell all your friends to follow us here. That's what we're doing.
Victor, TikTok is not for young kids. If I'm a young kid, I'm going to be 46.
Okay, so I agree. I see lots of people that seem like they're my age doing it. The problem is they're so much funnier than me. It's addicting, so be careful with TikTok. But go watch her.
It's nothing special. I have Ellie and Gizmo on there. But anyway, we will see you guys back next week. Same time, same place. Don't forget to like, follow, and share. And don't forget to tag as many people as possible for you to be September's share winner. We are looking for a grand prize winner.
And Jerry, thank you so much. He says good night. Great job as usual. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We will answer
Can't wait to see
questions.
when we come to Virginia next time.
We will answer questions if you leave them up at the messenger. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks so much. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.